Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about setting efficient goals for 2023. Not only that, but I am going to be sharing some really big goals that I have for this year in hopes that it will inspire you to dig a little deeper, stretch your mind, embrace your potential, and maybe we can crush some goals together. So this video, I just want to talk about goals a little bit more casually. I'm actually coming up now, and by the time this goes live, it will probably already pass, but 8 years in the financial industry. And in the 8 years that I've been in the financial industry, I would say I have set goals every single year since. The environment in the brokerage I work with, goal setting is just something that we talk about openly, and we really encourage our agents to set goals. And I think setting goals is healthy. When it comes to goal setting, we set goals, Jason and I, we set goals every single year, and we set them in different areas of our lives. Every year is a little bit different based on our priorities, but we try and focus on goals in terms of our faith, our family, our finances, and our fitness, or our personal health, not necessarily like dumbbells fitness. But this year's goals are actually really, really big. I believe that this year's goals are so big because of the one particular goal that we have for the year. The one particular goal we have for the year is probably the one goal that is least in our control, but that goal is a big push and incentive for us to, really push hard this year so that it all just comes together smoothly. So let me first share about the process that Jason and I use as a basis for setting our goals. Now, if you haven't seen my video on the Hemlock and Oak planner, this is a planner that Jason and I have and that we are using this year. Mine is this beautiful clove color. Jason has a nice forest green color. They're super cute. Check out the video. If you don't already have a planner for 2023, highly, highly recommend them. So I believe that you can overestimate what you can achieve in 1 year and grossly underestimate what you can achieve in 5. 5 years is a long time. If you commit to something for 5 years, you will crush it. When we set goals, we reflect on what our 5-year goals are. If you don't have 5-year goals, I encourage you to set 5-year goals. They don't need to be overly too specific, but having kind of something to aim for is incredibly powerful. But for me personally, I really focus on the 1-year goals. I am a baby step person. I focus very heavily on the how. How I'm going to do something so big it'll take 5 years to do, I don't know. I'm not sure what that looks like, but breaking it down into a single year or 12 months is just so powerful for me. And I encourage you to try it because that is a calming goal setting strategy that works for a lot of people. So I love these planners. I love Passion Planner because they have a goal setting section in the beginning. I like to think of it as a roadmap, kind of like a place to lay out the goals that you have in a place that you can see them frequently. Because if you just set goals in January and then you never come back to look at them, then odds are by July or December, your goals are going to pop up in front of you and you're going to be a little annoyed that you didn't hit any of them because you weren't focused on them. And that's just how it works. You can't just set a goal, leave it, not work towards it, and hope it comes true. Maybe it will. It's never been the case for me. But this planner in particular breaks it out in a format that I quite enjoyed. It starts by saying, set a goal. So whatever that goal is that you want to achieve by the end of the year, state it. Make a statement. By the end of maybe it's the end of the year, maybe you hope to achieve it sooner, but by the end of the year, I will have accomplished this. And then it's really valuable to state why you want this goal. Now, oftentimes when I have a conversation with people and ask them, great, why do you want to make $10,000 a month? They're just gonna say, well, I wanna pay off debt and I want to, I don't know, buy a car. And those are really superficial goals. So I'm going to encourage you to dig deep into the whys. Like, if you want to make more money to pay off debt, that is awesome. And I hope that that is the truth for you and that you hit that goal. But why? Why do you want to pay off debt? What feelings and emotions and energy is it going to give you to pay off debt? Do you want to pay off debt so that you can buy a house? If so, why? Is it because you want to give your family a place to call home? Do you want to pay off debt so you can feel financially stable and secure? Really dig deep into the emotions of why you want that goal. And then the next step is to break it down, kind of like, what do I need to do in the first quarter, the first 90 days to get me a quarter of the way to my goal? What do I need to do in the second quarter to get me halfway to my goal? And so on and so forth, so that you kind of have like a linear time frame to hit this. Now, on the topic of goals, if you're watching this in January, cool. It's a new year. There's a new energy buzzing around setting goals in January. But let's be real, if you're watching this in March or July or November, start now. Whenever you set your goals, it really doesn't matter. You don't need the new year energy to start working on the things that are important to you. As well as that, I encourage you to not just set goals once, but also put it in your planner to revisit them every 3 months or 6 months to just make sure that you're still on track. Because if you set a goal in January and you see it in July and you're not even close to hitting your goal, it's a lot of discouragement that sets in, and then you're unlikely to actually like move forward with that goal. You might just say, forget it. You might lower the goal and come up with something that is mediocre to what you wanted. And the biggest way that you can avoid this is to revisit your goals on a regular basis. If you can do it daily, fantastic. And then the next thing is to determine which habits you need to change in your life today to help you reach those goals within the timeline that you set for yourself. So let's say one of your goals is to start working out 3 times a week or 4 times a week or whatever. The number is irrelevant, but maybe the habit is to go to bed early so you have the energy to wake up and work out. Or maybe it's putting your clothes for the morning workout into a pile so that you're ready to go and you eliminate some of the excuses. Little things like that that you can implement right away that will help make that goal a little bit easier to achieve. And then lastly, you need to set a timeline. You need to kind of have like an end date in mind. In saying this, it's also important to remember to set the timeline based on like what you feel in your heart, but not tie yourself too strongly to it. And this is where revisiting your goals is really powerful. So let's say you set a goal that you wish to, achieve a certain promotion or income milestone by a certain date. It's great to have that timeline, that definitive date to work towards. However, you also need to hold grace. And if you revisit it in 3 months or 6 months and you need to adjust that timeline, then you can absolutely do that. Because if you set a goal to hit $10,000 a month by July and come June you've not done it and you don't really have the things in your funnel to do so, then that goal kind of dissipates, and then you're like, well, I'm just going to drop that. Where instead you could say, you know what, I'm not on track, let's give it 3 more months. Whatever the case might be, give yourself the flexibility to shift it. Now, sharing the goals that I have for 2023. When I look at my goals, I get a little bit nervous and a little bit excited because, like I mentioned, my goals for 2023 are really, really big. Like, really big. Obviously, there's a lot of momentum building, and some of these goals are inevitable. So they're all over the map. 2023 is going to be an incredible year. I mentioned that there was one big goal for 2023 that we had that is really like the driving force for all the other goals. Like, all the other goals support this goal kind of in a way. So the goal that we have for 2023, the one that is not exactly in our control, is that Jason and I hope to start a family this year. It's obviously a really big goal. It's a big goal, a big life stage, and not totally in our control. Now, if you're gonna set a goal, go big. Like, I'm talking go really big. So we have a goal to start a family. We want to have fraternal twins, a boy and a girl, healthy, happy, and yeah, that's the big goal. That's the one that's so not necessarily in our control, but if you're gonna like shoot for the moon, you'll land amongst the stars. So that is the goal that segues everything else. The other big goals that we have for 2023, the first one that is inevitable, it just has a really short time frame, is our Airbnb project. If you've been following this channel, or if you haven't, go check out our Airbnb project. I have a playlist on the Airbnb project that we are putting into our basement. And while that goal is short in terms of completion, it is going to be a really cool milestone to hit, and one that we'll definitely hit before goal number 1 of starting a family happens. The second goal that I have is our financial business. We are at a stage now in our business where we are looking to expand the agents that we have in the field. So while Jason and I, we go out, we sit down with families and we help them get ahead financially, there is only so many families that Jason and I can help alone. So while we have a really small team right now of a handful of licensed agents, we are now focused on having 25 licensed agents by the end of 2023. So we are really leaning into that, looking for amazing people who just want to have an impact in the lives of others by helping them get ahead in life. So really, to be able to build our business to 25 licensed agents is huge. And the other goal that I have for this year is really this channel. I had set a year-end metric goal for the end of December in regards to this channel and its progress, and I underestimated what I could do by the end of the year. I had set a goal, it was probably like October, of hitting a specific milestone in my monetization metrics, and by the end of December, I had surpassed it by quite a bit. As a matter of fact, December was one of my most successful months with this YouTube channel, and for that I am so deeply grateful for every one of you. But I've decided to really be a student of the platform and to really learn how the platform works and how it can be more efficient to serve you, my audience, better. So my goal for 2023 for my channel is to not just monetize, but exceed that. I would absolutely love to have 10,000 people join my community as I share the journey and adventures and benefits and strategies to minimalism. Not just that, but in alignment with the other goals that I have, I want to bring a lot more about how minimalism allows me to be a multipreneur. Not only that, but as our family grows, bringing in the family side of minimalism and entrepreneurship as well. I'm so incredibly excited for 2023. I'm so grateful to have you join me on this adventure, to share along in the journey, and I will probably revisit this video at the end of the year to just see where those milestones, like how close we got. They're really big goals, I know that, but if you don't aim big and at the very top end of realistic in terms of your goals, then you might just hit less than you thought. So I hope that this video has really encouraged you to take some time to sit down and choose and write out and plan some of the goals that you have for the next 12 months. I also am so incredibly grateful to have each and every one of you joining me on the next 12 months of adventure, and I cannot wait to have you join me in the next video. I will see you all in the next video, and Happy New Year!